Greetings, faithful listeners. This is Reverend Tashi Campbell. Welcome to part 3 of the Let's Be Real series, where we discuss issues concerning young people and issues of concern to young people. Today I have with me Mikayla and Shaneil, who are Generation Zs, and Kishna, who is a millennial. Stick around to hear how they feel about issues affecting their age group.
Jesus weep when I'm looking at her and see the bad behavior. Teenagers, I know you're young and feeling the sexual desire. Peer pressure lick you and you feel like you don't take some of the pressure. But listen to that song, yeah. No matter how the circumstances walk.
All right, welcome everybody. Mikayla, Shaneil, and Kishna. How are you?
Fine. Good.
So good to have you today. So let's begin. I'm going to ask you just to tell our audience about yourselves. Who wants to go first?
Okay, so I'll go first.
All right. That's Kishna, the man speaking.
Yes, my name is Kishna Roberts. I'm 27 years of age. I'm a Christian and I work at a call center called HGS, which stands for Hinduja Global Solutions, for the human dental, that is. And basically that's it.
All right, Kishna, thank you. Shaneil, you're up.
My name is Shaneil Walker, and I'm 17 years of age, and I attend the Portmore Community College.
All right, and
My name is
Mikayla.
Mikayla Forbes. I am currently a student of Arden High School. I am 16 years of age.
All right, very good. So we have a wide variety. Well, not that wide, but we do have a variety here, and that's good. So we have one college student, one high school student, and someone who is working. Our millennial is working as it should be. Very good. So we're going to get right into our conversation about issues that are of concern to young people your age and so on. And I want it to be open. I want it to be open about these things as we ask our questions. So what are some of the things that are, well, speaking to those of you who are members of a local church, what are some of the things that are in place in your local church that you believe are helpful to young people your age? So Mikayla, you can take that one first.
Sure. Youth meetings, I think that's a vital part, because at least you have the youth coming together on a Saturday to talk about current issues and to press points that they didn't fully understand in church, so they come together as one body on a Saturday.
All right, so youth meetings are in place in your church, you're saying, and that's one of the things that's very helpful for young people your age. Is there anything else
Not
that you can think of? All right, Kishna, what say you?
Well, there's the Engraved Ministry, which is basically a ministry that caters to young adults, ages between 20 to 40. Yes, and I think that is a really good ministry, for people my age group.
So there is something for the Gen Zs, and then there is something for the millennials. All right. So what I'm getting is that there are these special groups within your local church that cater to persons your age. Do you think this is an important thing for the church to keep going?
Yes, I think it is, because for the youth meetings, it actually gives youths my age a sense of identity and assurance.
Assurance about what?
Like Christ, and getting to know him better, and if the certain topics that aren't really fully suppressed in church, we talk about it at the youth meetings.
Okay, very nice. And why should we keep the young adults ministry active?
One of the biggest issues in the church, especially with my age group, is basically, courting and getting to know persons of the opposite sex within the church, and, looking forward to marriage. So I think it's a ministry that would actually aid in terms of, knowing persons outside of the whole church settings and so forth.
All right, very good. So, let's go on to another matter. What kind of system or program do you think would be helpful to young people your age? And maybe it's something you have thought of that you don't see a lot of, or you have never seen, or you've seen it somewhere but it's not where you are. Have you thought of anything, Shaneil? All right, that's fine. What about the rest of us? What else do you think could be something that's helpful to young people your age?
Well, I don't think there's nothing that comes to mind now, but what I actually like that has been put into place is the fact that there are more call centers, and based on what I've heard, unemployment has actually had a 4% decrease since. So I'm kind of thankful for that.
Okay. Oh, so you're talking about call centers to provide employment
Jobs,
for the millennials.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, locally, I'm not sure, but in my church specifically, I think we can implement sporting activities for the young people who are athletic.
Oh.
So they could come together and with the different holiness churches come together as one, and we have matches and stuff, or we have a fundraiser for the church.
Okay. And I like that suggestion because I find that the sports ministry, if we could call it that, is a very, very good one, but there are so many churches that currently don't have an active sports ministry. And I know football is something that will be an attraction for our young men.
That's true.
Among other things, because even the performing arts ministries as well is also a good outlet for young people, whether drama, dance, sign language, singing, any kind of artistic expression. That is something that young people can benefit from. All right. So, what would you say then is the greatest challenge for young people your age? Shaneil, you're up. What would you say is the greatest challenge for young people your age?
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure? Could you tell us a little bit more? What kind of pressure are they under? Do you come under peer pressure sometimes?
No.
You pressure anybody?
I'm a leader.
You're a leader. All right, so tell us some of the things that you see some of your friends, struggling to just be separate and apart. They're struggling to keep up because they're being pressured into doing anything at all, whatever it is.
Like smoking and such.
Do you see that in your setting?
A lot.
You see it a lot? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
As in state home.
Sure, yes.
Okay, as in at school, friends them come with there's something marijuana.
Yes.
And
weed. You can't say weed.
and then make it at school and then cut it up. And people don't smoke, but them just want to take a try. And I said, come just take a try, man. Just take a try. I'm like, really? You don't do it? And what if you put something in it? If you say, make it muddy or something so, because, people,
yes,
especially Jamaicans, them just...
And I like what you're saying. I really appreciate this disclosure because it is a fact that many of our young people in the colleges and so on are pressured into taking drugs and into smoking and drinking alcohol and so on. And you are right in saying that sometimes even the marijuana could be laced with other substances that get them hooked and sometimes mentally ill due to what they put in there. And so that's one of the pressures that there is. There any other pressure? Do you find that persons are pressured into sexual activities or partying, anything like that?
Child abuse.
Child abuse? Tell us some more about that.
Well, I have a friend.
Yes.
Her mom left her when she was about 8 with her stepfather. and she got raped. And ever since, her sexual life just changed. She became like a lesbian. One of those girls. And her mom claims to say she's uphold with it because she understands. And one time her mom find out and her skin came black and blue because her mom is beating her. And her mom told her she opposed with it. But when she finds out, maybe she don't bother like it or something like so. She start beat her, almost kill her one time.
Uh-oh. She still lives with her mother?
Yeah.
Alright, so with this friend situation, she was left by her mother with a stepfather at the age of 8, and she was sexually assaulted. And that caused her now to turn against men, and she's now walking in a lesbian lifestyle or homosexual lifestyle. When her mother, the same mother who left her alone, found out that this is the lifestyle she has chosen, the mother beat her badly. That's pretty much what you're saying. But now the mother is okay with it. Is she still living with her mother? So the mother has decided, well, that's what you want to do, so I'm just going to leave you be.
That's right.
Right. And I'm not even, well, that is definitely a challenge for several of our young people, because when they experience these traumatic, when they go through these traumatic incidents, it needs to be addressed. You know, it needs to be something that a professional works through with them and so on, because the response that they come with might not be what we like, but it is as a result of the trauma that they would have experienced that was not dealt with in a way that would help them to heal and to move forward and so on. So that is a sad reality, but it is a fact that some of our young people are challenged in that way. So at the college you see a lot of this kind of response where persons choose an alternate lifestyle in the college. Do you find that they are on a crusade? They're trying to recruit others into homosexuality, apart from the smoking and the drinking and the partying?
Not really in my program.
Okay, not necessarily in your program, but you've heard of it?
But as in like associate degrees and technical program, and those programs, they are mostly the ones, because my program is 17 and 18 and few 19s, but the rest of the programs are like 20 and up.
Oh, so you find that the early 20s, that age group is the one doing a lot of recruiting? So are the ladies recruiting more than the men are? Or who is the main recruiter?
Female.
The females. All right.
Male won't show up because maybe one of their friends don't know, so them don't have to show up. But the ladies are more
open.
Yeah.
So the men don't really want anyone to know that they are of that persuasion, that they have chosen as homosexual lifestyle, but the women tend to be more open and they will be recruiting openly. All right, thank you, Shaneil, for your contribution. I really, really appreciate that, because it is a fact that many of our young people in the colleges are experiencing these things, and we're going to talk later on about maybe some of the things that we could do. What kind of advice can we give them, and how we can reach out to these persons who are so traumatized and who are so pressured. What can we do there? And in our other episodes to come up, we will be addressing some of these issues specifically. Mikayla, for you, what would you say is the greatest challenge for young people your age?
Well, I have two actually.
Okay.
One of them is like they don't want to stay in church. They don't think that they should at my age group, persons, they don't think that they should continue to going to church because they feel like it's like weighing them down. They don't get to be more free. They rather going to parties and having fun, as I said, living a teenage lifestyle, than going to church. And the other one is like trying to abstain from sexual intercourse, because like a lot of persons my age, they're losing their virginity because they think it's cool or the in thing, or they want to like fit in. So if they have a boyfriend, they think that they should have sex to keep that boyfriend.
All right, let's pick up on the last one first. So there is a struggle among young people your age to remain sexually pure. And you're saying if they have a boyfriend, they actually want to engage in sexual intercourse so they can keep their boyfriends. I want to ask you, from your observation, does that actually happen?
No, it doesn't.
What happens after they have decided to give up the cookie?
The guy moves on. Like, he got what he wants from that girl, so he moved on to the next, and then that girl is labeled as easy, or he tells his friends that she's easy, so you can go get her. Or
all right. So is it that, so these girls, after they have given up the cookie and the boys move on, do they now get sober in a way to say, well, maybe I was not right in my thinking, so I'm going to abstain until I am in a more settled place in life. I've finished my education, I'm working, and I'm going to wait until I'm married. Do they do that, or do they now fall into a cycle where, okay, who is the next boyfriend? Let me see.
They fall into a cycle, but most of the times they continue with that same guy who has moved on.
Oh, so they continue, well, because it could be that because this gentleman is now responsible for taking their virginity, they are in love, and
yes,
they are probably still. All right, and that is another challenge too, that young people our age. What do you think though? And this is for anybody. What do you think is feeding that perception that young people, teenagers, are to enjoy life and party and so on, and that church is weighing them down? What do you think has informed that, and where do they get the idea that having sex with their boyfriend is going to keep him around?
Actually don't know, but I think it goes way back to having a low self-esteem or seeking for attention. Because if you don't get that love from inside your household, you try to seek it from outside your household.
Okay. All right. Any thoughts on that, Brother Kishna?
Well, nothing much though, where that is concerned, but as it really relates to like influences, like the persons around us and so forth. Like, I work at a call center, and trust me, like, sex and the LGBT thing is like the norm there. It's like the norm. If you tell somebody that it's wrong, they look at you like you're the weird one. So I think that is one of the challenges as it relates to like persons in my age group. But other than that, I think the biggest question is like, for me as a Christian, is why I believe what I believe, why I believe the Bible and so forth. So I see a need for more of apologetics as it relates to my experience, because persons always ask me why you believe the Bible, why you this and why you that. Because to me, reality nowadays to everyone else is basically what they think it to be. Persons and people have these questions, where did God come from? All of those questions. And I think the evidence is there, but we as Christians, we as the church and so forth, we just need to, as the Bible said, to give an account for what we believe in, and just stop saying, because I feel it's the right way to go, or because my mother taught me to become a Christian and so forth. So I think that is the biggest issue,
Right. So Kishna, you are touching on where we're going in terms of what would be some of the questions that you feel young people may have, and it's not addressed a lot of the times. But you've also touched on some of the challenges as well, in addition to what has already been said, that there are challenges of the LGBT agenda that's strong in your particular workplace, and also that everybody nowadays have an opinion. They have an opinion. I believe this, I don't believe this, and so on. And you're saying we need to get more, the church needs to get more into apologetics. The church in Jamaica, churches in Jamaica, by church I mean church, church ecclesia, needs to get more into apologetics so that young people will be able to have some certainty, or at least beyond a reasonable doubt, why do I embrace the Bible and what the Bible says, and all of that. And it could be tied into what Mikayla said as well, that even though these teenagers are Christians, they really don't have a biblical worldview, and then they have also they find themselves in a place, for whatever reason, it could be as a result of the family setting, the environment from which they come, where they are looking for love, they are looking to be loved, they are looking to be, to belong. They want to belong, and so they're looking in all of these places that really has not proven to be a wise choice. So they're looking to do that. So I appreciate the responses so far. So we're getting that there is pressure at the college level, pressure for smoking, drinking, and even homosexuality. And at the high school level, the pressure would be, why should I stay in church? Church is weighing me down. I should be partying and enjoying myself and having a good time. So there's that struggle where high school students, high school young people are thinking that why should I be at church? As well as they're giving up the cookies are being baked and selling and for free in some instances. And and then from our millennial in the workplace here, we're saying that the challenge, the homosexuality challenge is still there in that particular workplace and maybe some other workplaces, but we would not be able to say that is the case in all workplaces. So we're not saying that. You are speaking from your specific place of work, as well as the fact that Christians, those who profess to be Christians, need to be able to say, this is why I believe, outside of my mother sent me to church, or this is what my grandmother taught me, or whatever the case might be. All right, great. What are some of so Kishna would have highlighted some of the pressing questions, but I want to know if the ladies have any. What are some of the pressing questions you have that you believe are not openly discussed or directly addressed, whether in church or otherwise? What are are there any questions that maybe you or your friends would have had that's pressing? Any questions, Mikayla? Any questions, Shaneil?
Well, I had been to church.
You can speak so we hear. It's all right.
Okay, listen. If church have fun things, I'll be there. But if not, I won't.
All right, fun things like?
Interacting with peers and such.
Oh, so you like social activities and so on. What about like a concert?
Yes, I'll be there.
Okay. All right, so tell us why otherwise you wouldn't be interested in attending church.
Because sometimes we don't like the long talking.
Okay. The long talking meaning the preaching? Okay. And what do you call long? Like an hour? If the preacher is preaching for 30 minutes, would that be alright?
Sure.
Or so maybe you could find out who are the 30-minute speakers and come on those Sundays. I appreciate your honesty, and I don't want you to feel ashamed about what you're expressing, because the truth is there are other young people who feel the same way, and I want you to speak it out. I want you to speak it out. So you're saying if there is something fun going on at church where you can get to interact, something sociable where you can socialize with others, or maybe there's a concert or so, you like those things and you would come at that time. But otherwise, if the speaker is just going on for a very long time, you tend to get a little frustrated with that, and so you stay away from church.
That's right.
Say again?
That's right.
Okay. All right. And there are some young persons who feel that way, that, you know, they just to be there, it's kind of long. And I have an idea, because what I find though is that a lot of our young people, and you are young, so you can tell me, there is always an openness for what we call entertainment.
Yes.
That's true. That's true.
Right? We like to be entertained, and that's a fact. You know, millennials, Gen Zs, whoever, we like to be entertained. We love when the music is rich. We love when we get to engage with other people and we get to talk, and it's not a structured program per se.
Yes.
You know, you just get to socialize and that kind of thing.
And
But
sometimes it's how the preacher delivers the message, because you can deliver a message but it doesn't reach someone, but how you deliver and put it in a sense to gravitate to the young people and for them to understand what you're saying, sometimes that's makes a big difference.
all right, so, and that too is the sentiment of several of our young people, that the speaker should be able to appeal to the young people in their sermon. But I would like to ask though, what kinds of messages appeal? What kind of message delivery appeal to young people your age?
Encouragement.
Encouragement. I like it. Encouragement. So in other words, you think young people your age would like to hear an encouraging message rather than something that seems to be judgmental and talking down to one and that kind of thing. You want to be encouraged. All right. Nice.
I agree with her.
All right.
Well,
any thoughts, any addition to that?
well, I can't speak for persons who are not Christians per se, because I think there's a time and place for every type of message. You know, sometimes people need to be encouraged, sometimes people need to be rebuked. So there's a place for everything in terms of delivery.
Okay, so for you're saying a balance.
Yes.
So keep it variety. Don't just pure encouragement, not just pure encouragement, not just pure rebuke.
Yes.
Keep a balance so that
Yes.
we're getting the truth of the word of
That's
God and
Yes.
so on. All right. So, thank you for that, Shaneil. But, so, Mikayla, are there any pressing questions that you would like to share with our audience? And we're coming close to the end of part 3, but in your final analysis.
No, actually, she had a point that I wanted to add on, but I do not remember.
Oh, you mean Shaneil's point about coming to church, and she mentioned that she would come if there's something fun going on, which would be something
Yes,
about socializing,
like,
right?
A lot of persons that I know, they view like Christianity or Christians on a whole who come to church, they view them as boring people, because they think that, okay, if you're a Christian now, you're closed off from the social world. You don't get to have fun anymore. That's what they view it as. They view us or Christians like, okay, you're a Christian now, you're more secluded, you don't talk to persons who aren't Christians, you are off from the social world.
Alright, so that's what young people your age, you find that they're saying Christianity and Christians, that's a boring choice of a lifestyle. And if you become a Christian, then you no longer socialize and you are cut off from the rest of the world. What a perception that Christianity has. We will have to pick that up in our next episode. I hope you guys will come back to speak with us. It has been interesting, and I want to thank all of you for sharing so openly about some of the challenges that our young people are faced with. And the fact of the matter is, it means then that we are going to have to find a way, and I'm speaking now to pastors and church leaders and community leaders and parents and adults who have been charged with the care of our young people, whether in the colleges, in the high schools, or otherwise. We have to find a way to present the truth of God, the undiluted truth of God, in a way that is real and relevant and transforming. Because the truth is, watering down the gospel is not going to be of any effect in the long term. And I can give some more details on that in another episode. But the fact of the matter is that young people still need to hear the truth, but maybe we need to look at the way we have been relating and how we have been packaging the message of the gospel. Thank you, guys. To listen other episodes from RevTC Views, you may visit our website at revtc.podbean.com. See you in our next episode. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you.
Check your out after the goods them take off. Your classmates, why you follow them and bun class? They look for man, then them use who no wanna laugh. Man, your brethren them a give your gun fi carry go lock off. Them why you carry chat, and if you not do it, them say you soft. Why you idle on the corner, smoke weed and slack off. Tell them no, Jesus Christ, him a your rod and him a your staff. So back off, back off.